We're going to move to another, actually, probably one of the first, probably the first students of the rationality, Oscar Volij. Oscar Volij was a student. I think he started his PhD before the center started, and he finished it while the center existed. And again, another faculty from Beersheba University, and he's talk about memories. Hippocampus. Some.
Yeah, the invitation was to speak about experiences, memories, or research, and I prefer to talk about some memories because my memory is thinking, and that's why also I wrote this piece of paper just to help me not to forget anything I wanted to say. Well, first of all, I think the center is and back then was a great place, and it really introduced me to new people, to new experiences, new concepts, and opened up a completely new world. And before I forget, I want one of the first things I got from the center was that the center sent me to my first international conference. It was in Stony Brook, I think, in '93. And it was in that conference in which I really saw what the economists or game theorists were doing. They were doing it here too, but then I saw it at a global level. And it was a very nice experience, and I met many people, and it helped me contact to lots of people. And in retrospect, I see that those contacts were very long-lasting, and I have them until today. So I never had the opportunity to thank Sergio to send me or the center, and I take advantage of this occasion to do so 20 years later, or almost 20 years later, but I think I should thank you. Well, the center prides itself on its interdisciplinary nature. Okay, everybody knows that here you have lots of people from many disciplines. I myself, I don't think that I've ever been engaged in any truly interdisciplinary project, but I learned a lot from these interdisciplinary activities. But I think if I have to point to one thing is that is the fact that I got to know the biologists here. I think that these are a special kind of people. They are the most colorful, picturesque. They are always, I don't need to tell you, but they are always walking in sandals and shorts. Today I saw Uzimotro only in sandals, so maybe he took a vacation.
It was cold. That's why.
Yeah, but they all year round they are in sandals.
There is a respectable conference.
So with a special effort.
And really, I also remember their talks. I think that we heard lots of talks about many disciplines, but those talks by Aviv Schmid and Uzimotro, I think that they were fantastic. They were breathtaking, and it's difficult to forget them. Well, how can we speak about the center without speaking about those annual retreats? Okay, those retreats there were an opportunity. They took us somewhere to be isolated from the worldly noise or from the world, so that we can interact together. And in those trips, there were many talks, breakfasts, and field trips. Those field trips, well, I hate field trips. Okay, I personally don't like those trips. Not personally, not particularly those. I hate in general those trips. Maybe because I was not here, I was not born here. I don't like so much risking my life climbing rocks or jumping from 6 meters to water holes, but this was part of the experiences. And I remember particularly one of those trips was very, very, I don't know, the word that comes to mind is psychedelic, but it was in the Carmel forest. We were, again, maybe. Yeah. We were, again, I think that the biologists took us for a long trip. We were walking in line formation in the forest with deep vegetation, and suddenly Aumann and Yari got engaged in some kind of a discussion or about some philosophical, political topic, which I don't remember exactly, but it was something to do with human rights organizations. I think that the question was whether human rights organizations should defend people who are against human rights or not. That's the kind of question. And as I said, we were walking in line, so they were back there. I was in the middle, I think. The biologists were in front talking about the insects they met. And it was very interesting. I think one of them was claiming that, no, human rights organizations should not defend people that are against human rights. It's not their job. They should not deal with them. And the other thing, he said that yes, it was their job to defend even people who are against human rights, and that's why he was against human rights organizations. I remember struggling. I mean, the argument was very, very nice, very interesting, amazingly interesting, with the very good arguments from both sides. But it was so difficult to hear, even though they were shouting. But but I was really struggling to hear, and at the same time listening to the sexual life of some six-legged insect that it was found. Luckily, my aversion to trips sometimes helped me, because in another retreat, I think it was in Nueva, I am sure, when all the other people went for a trip in the Sinai Desert, I remained in the hotel and decided to go for a swim in the Red Sea, and then I found a dolphin, which I think that it's a famous dolphin. I think that he died since then, but I read in the newspaper. But I swam with it for at least 15 hours. For 15 minutes, I think, and it brought everlasting envy to my wife when I told her, because really it was one of the nicest experiences I had. Okay, another amazing idea I think that came out from the Center for Rationality was this idea of rationality on Fridays. Which is, as you know, on Fridays, some specialists come here to talk about some topic to the general university public. And then you can hear about lots of things that you usually don't know, and at a really nice high level. But there was, again, one particular talk that was impressive. I don't think that I've seen anything like that. And it was that talk by Aumann about the equidistant letter sequences, or the Bible code. This talk, those who were here might remember, electrified the public, or maybe electrocuted the public, I think, because he was discussing, or he was relating his experience as editing a paper that seemed to suggest that the book of Genesis had some kind of foresight capabilities. Okay, this seemed to be the suggestion there, and the audience was jumping in their seats and could not stay, and was arguing and suggesting alternative hypotheses, alternative explanations, which Aumann was debunking one by one, and I've never seen anything like that before, and I don't think that they will see. But it was one of the best talks there. And finally, another thing that I can say about the center is that here it's one of those examples that shook the ground of all or some of my long-held convictions. For example, I believe that secretaries in the university or administrative assistants, sometimes they like to be called, they are there just to embitter students' life and professors' life alike. Okay? But here you have Hannah Shemesh that not only helped everybody and went out of her way to help, but it did it in really in the most professional way. And so here it went one of my convictions. And another conviction is that I believe that people in general, or researchers in particular, need some material incentives to do some work, okay, or good work at least. And again, here in the center, you have a high concentration of disinterested people who like what they do and do science for science sake. And so, because of that example, sometimes it's difficult to argue for what you believe. Sometimes I believe that differential weights are a good idea, but then they come with these examples of people in this center, and you don't know what to say. That's it. I think that I wish the center a very happy birthday, and I hope we can celebrate many more in the future.
15 minutes break.